Hey friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here with a video for 3-room studio stamps, and I'm very excited that we are having an Instagram hop today to celebrate the release of these 2 stamp and die sets. This one is called Aw Thanks, and you can see that it's got a coordinating die set there, and that the die sets on both of these, this one's Hello Friend, the die sets include dies for those big word stamps. So it essentially turns those word stamps into word die cuts. So lots of techniques we could do with that if we wanted to. I'm not going to do anything super fancy with it today, but I love that I can die cut it out and I don't have to fussy cut it. I love that. Sometimes sentiments are tough to cut out, but we have actually coordinating dies, so it's perfect. I really love this image, so I'm going to play with the Aw Thanks stamp set today, and I am just going to cut down some white cardstock, and I want to stamp the image of the woman, and I want to stamp the thanks script, the large thanks script. Now you'll notice that there are lots of sentiments included in this stamp set, and you can combine them in a variety of ways to make a custom sentiment for your card. And I love that. I love when designers do that because it gives you lots of options for what you want to say. So I'm using my Pentel high polymer eraser just to wipe the manufacturing residue off the stamp set. They actually stamp beautifully the first time when you do this. So I'm using Maker Forte Color Hive Eclipse Black ink. This is one of my favorite black inks because I can start coloring with my Copic markers or any alcohol markers right away with this. I love this. It is a water reactive ink, so you cannot use it to watercolor, but it's perfect for it's absolutely perfect for using your alcohol markers. You don't have to heat set it or anything like that. So I did stamp that twice. There is only one image in your, or one stamp, female stamp in your stamp set. I just happened to get an extra one there. Now I wanted to start coloring the first one, and I got a big blob of ink on her forehead there. So I'm hoping that I can cover it up, but I decided I will color in the skin of the second image that I stamped just in case I can't fix that big blob. So I'm doing a darker skin tone today, and I started with E29, and I just did some places where I expect it to be the darkest on her arms and her face. And then I came in with E27 and went over the original one and made it a little wider. And now I'm using E25 to pull some of that darker color down into her face and arms and her neck. And then I'm using E30 just to fill in the rest and to kind of go over the whole thing to help them blend together. And a little E31 just fixed up the top of that. Excuse me. So I like when I color in images like this, I like to use E30 or E50 when I'm all done with the skin because it kind of gives the skin a brighter tone, and to me that's more realistic. So I really like to add that little touch. Now I wanted to give her black hair, so I started with W7, then I added some W4, and then W2, but she was looking a little too gray. I wanted it black, not gray. So I pulled out the W8 and I just flicking the W8 in, and I always add a little like blue, dark blue, that was B39. And then I just again use the W2 to actually help all those colors blend together. And I believe that was R39 and R20, or excuse me, R29 and R21 that I used on her lips. And I'm using BG18 to do like the curves and the corners and things on the sweater. And then I came in with B15 to go around most of the other edges and start the inside top. I decided this would be a sweater set. And now I'm using BG13. I love this color combination. And I'll just fill it all in with BG11. And that will complete the coloring of my female image. So I decided that I also wanted to stamp the sentiment. And I love this big script, thanks. It's just perfection, in my opinion. I love script lettering. And I'm going to also do one of the little secondary sentiments there. So I'll stamp those all at once. The little secondary sentiments don't have coordinating dies, so I just cut that in a little rectangle with my trimmer, like I ordinarily do with sentiments. So I stamped those, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out the dies. And you do need a nice pair of fine tip wire cutters. So I just snipped those apart and then I die cut them out. It was so nice to have. I'm so cheap, I don't usually buy die cuts, the coordinating dies, and it's so nice when you get the coordinating dies. Like, really, it's just wonderful. So I'm being a little bit of a perfectionist here because I went outside the lines in a couple spots. So I pulled out, I have a Winsor & Newton journaling pen that's a 0.5, which is a little bit wide. I like to use a 0.1 or a 0.3, but I had a 0.5 and I just went around the edge and it cleans up the edges. So I have this really pretty blue raspberry cardstock that I cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of really beautiful Carta Bella paper. I don't remember the name of this paper pack, but it's so pretty. Actually, the pattern paper is 4 by 5 1/4, and that raspberry blue cardstock is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I already had the circle die cut out. That's why I pulled this particular blue out. Plus there is blue in that pattern paper, which you can't see at all here, but it pulls the blue out of that pattern paper beautifully. So I added foam to the back of both the thanks and the woman, and I love that I can pop that word die up now. It's not just a flat stamp anymore. Now I can give it dimension. So I trimmed down this so much with my trimmer, and I'm going to put a little piece of foam on the back of that as well, just to pop it up. I love having dimension on a card, and foam tape does such a nice job with that. So I'm going to put the links to these stamp sets and die sets below, so you can find them in 3 Room Studio. And if you check out our Instagram hop, we would love to have you check out our Instagram hop and give us some likes and follows and leave us some comment love. We would really love that. There will be 2 winners chosen from the Instagram hop, and one winner will get the Aw Thanks stamp and die set, and the other winner will get the Hello Friend stamp and die set. Plus you'll get lots of inspiration from the design team along the way, so that's pretty fun. And while you're checking out 3 Room Studio, make sure you check out some of the other stamps. There are a few digital stamps there, along with some really wonderful stamp and die sets, so they're pretty fantastic. So I just added those to that circle die cut that I had in my stash, and that's pretty much going to complete my card, although I am going to add 3 enamel hearts. My card base is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I scored and folded it at 5 1/2. And I'll add these little hearts, and I decided to put one of each color. There's a clear, there's a pink, and a red, and just do a little visual triangle there. I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel, if you're not already a subscriber, click that bell to get notifications every time I upload a video. And thank you so much for watching, friends. Have a wonderful day.